Now thinking about how you communicate your idea. Whenever we communicate something, we first have an idea in our minds, and that idea then has to be encoded in some way. We turn that idea into a set of words or images or something that we can transfer to somebody else. And then we do that transmission. We turn those words into reality so that somebody else can hear them. And it's not just about our words, of course, it's also going to be our body language, it's the tone that we use, it's the choice of words that we use, and so forth. So we transmit to them. At the other end, they then hear those words, though that they see that body language, they get the impression from you, and they decode it using their understanding of the world. And then ultimately that will form into an understanding in their heads. Now, do they have the same understanding in their head as you have the idea in your mind? Almost certainly not. I remember walking through New Road in Kathmandu. I had to buy some vegetables before going home, and I didn't know where the nearest vegetable market was. So I asked the man, Gaja Kapainjola? Where are the carrots available near to here? I had the right idea. I had encoded it into words. I transmitted my message as clearly as I thought I could. But this gentleman who I was talking to, he just saw some white guy. He assumed I was a tourist. He may have misheard a little bit of what I was saying, and he understood that I was looking for ganja, drugs, not gaja, carrots. This encoding and decoding, they're both done drawing in a whole lot of other knowledge, your experience, your expectations, your worldview. That's going to colour how you encode and how somebody else decodes that message. But of course, you, as the presenter, you only have control over half of that process. You can control the ideas in your head, and you can control how they are encoded and to some extent how they are transmitted. But how the other person receives that message and how they choose to decode it and how they understand it, well, that's going to be entirely up to them. And you cannot actually control that. So this means that there needs to be a strong focus on them. You can imagine if you want to speak really clearly to somebody from another country, ideally you would do so in their language, wouldn't you? Not because it's easy for you, but because then you're going to have more confidence that they have really understood what you are trying to say. Similarly, if you're doing a presentation, you need to try and put yourself in their shoes, or in the shoes of the other person, in the audience, and try to then transmit your message in ways that they will really clearly understand. If they don't understand you, that's not actually their fault. That's that somehow you have not communicated clearly enough. If you want to communicate clearly to them, then you have to think how they think and present things in their way.